This live session will be focused on transforming healthcare regarding training and patient journey with immersive technologies. And now let me introduce the speakers that are with us today. So today we have the pleasure of hosting Valeria Martinez, who's an anesthesiologist and president of the SFETD. So thank you, Valeria, for joining us today and sharing your experience.
Good morning, or hello everyone.
Thank you. And we have Nicola, who's the APAC manager at Uptale. And welcome, Nicola. Thank you for coming.
Hello.
Who's based in Singapore. And we have Laura, who's working with Valeria and Uptale on a research project regarding the effectiveness of VR for learning, simulations. And so thank you, Laura, for sharing also your experience.
Hi, everybody.
Great. So just a quick reminder of the agenda today, and we will do our best to keep on the schedule. Plus, no worries, if you have to leave before the end of the session, you'll get the replay by email. And we will first have an overview of some VR use case for healthcare, and then we will dive into a specific use case, which is morphine situation simulation for medical students. And then we will explain how to deploy this technology inside your organization, and of course, a moment to exchange and discuss. So feel free to ask your questions. There is a questions section on the bottom right of the screen. So if you want to discuss or give your feedback or have any issues, you can speak in the chat section. And finally, during this live session, you will be able to interact with polls. So here is the first one. Let me create it. Up. Let's go. So here is a poll. What kind of training modalities do you use today? So it can be several ones. E-learning, videos, PowerPoint, VR, AR, serious game, face-to-face training, or others. So I can see the votes are going on. And mostly e-learning today. E-learning is a winner, followed by videos, PowerPoint, face-to-face training, then VR, AR. So the winner is e-learning today. Okay, interesting. So I will get this, and let's go for, now we give the floor to my colleague, Laura. Thank you.
Hello. Well, as Camille said, I am Laura. I am a graduated medical doctor from Havana University, currently a PhD student at Paris-Saclay University. My thesis is based on the role of emotions during immersive learning. And today I will start by discussing some of the most common VR use cases for both education and patient care. So let's begin not with the prevalent data of today, but with a pivotal paper from the 1990s by Ramachandran that I'm sure a lot of people know. His pioneering study delved into the impact of alternate realities on our brains using what he termed a virtual reality box, which it was essentially a mirror box with two mirrors set in right angles to create a visual illusion that allows an amputee to see a reflection of their intact limb superimposed on the perceived location of their missing limb. And this visual feedback has been shown to alleviate phantom limb syndrome. So this groundbreaking work laid the foundation, highlighting how alternate realities can influence our cognitive processes. However, the landscape has evolved significantly since then. Each decade has been marked by developments in different areas, which allow us today to see VR as a tool in almost every aspect of healthcare. Can we learn in virtual reality? The question of the moment. Well, I will say yes. Studies, while emerging, showcase its affirmative potential within this new realm of learning methodologies. So let's dive in education. For example, In this meta-analysis done in 2019 with a total of 2,047 participants, VR superiority is affirmed over traditional methods in enhancing both knowledge and skill acquisition among medical and healthcare students. VR applications are expansive, spanning various healthcare domains, from medical practitioners to continual formation, to nurses, to dental students and psychologists. VR proves itself invaluable for training practical skills, what we call hard skills like surgical techniques, and equally vital for cultivating essential soft skills. So, let's check out our first article. The objective was to compare the effectiveness of virtual reality and cadaveric bone models in teaching skeletal anatomy to first-year medical students. And well, it was found a lack of significant difference in knowledge gain between VR and cadaveric groups, but participants found VR valuable for 3D orientation, anatomical relationships, and key landmarks, and the majority favor combining traditional methods with VR for learning skeletal anatomy. So you may be asking yourself, well, what about long-term learning? And in this second article, the objective was to explore the long-term impact of virtual reality simulator on the practice performance of medical students in tendon suturing. Well, some of the key findings were a more positive response in the VR group compared to the control group, and also the VR group outperformed the control group with higher scores in physical examination, in suturing, noting, and image reading. Okay, let's switch it up and go to soft skills. When assessing the development of communication skills through virtual reality on nursing school students, it was found also that a significant improvement in communication skills observed in the virtual reality intervention compared to the control group. Interestingly, both interventions were effective after the first evaluation, but the virtual reality-based intervention outperformed the traditional method, especially in older students. And lastly, when comparing the effects of virtual and human patient simulation methods on the performance, simulation-based learning, anxiety, and self-confidence with clinical decision-making scores of 166 third-year nursing students, it was found a higher, statistically significant difference in the virtual patient simulation group for performance score. So the question arises of, why do we learn in virtual reality? What makes virtual reality so effective? And it is its immersive power which operates akin to the mirror experiments, aligned with the prevalent learning theoretical models. Factors such as immersion, affordance, and emotions play a pivotal role in VR-based learning. And as seen in this meta-analysis, immersive technologies consistently outperform non-immersive counterparts in facilitating effective learning experiences.
So we have another poll. So share what are your training topics in general. Let's go for this one. Is it about safety mostly, health and safety, or onboarding, field visit like for newcomers, or even clients or visitors? Or is it about operational procedures, so like how to? Is it more about soft skills, or maybe HR and management? Or maybe other. Sorry, I didn't put it. So let's see. So we have maybe a winner if everyone answer, who's operational procedures today, and followed by onboarding and field visit. Pretty interesting to see that operational procedures is the main topic here. Thank you. You can keep going, Laura. Thank you.
Great. So Now that we discussed some use cases, let's unveil the path to learning. Let's explore the profound impact of virtual reality in healthcare education, focusing on the fundamental elements that make VR a game changer, which are immersion, affordance, and emotions. So first, immersion is the user's sense of being fully present in a simulated environment. VR extraordinary capability to immerse users in lifelike scenarios is a game changer in learning. It transcends mere visuals and sounds, creating an environment that captivates our mind and stirs our emotions. Immersion goes beyond observation, is an active engagement that brings learning to life. In second place, affordance. It denotes the technology's capacity for customization and interaction, enabling users to engage with the virtual environment in ways that mimic real-world actions. Affordance is the key to tailoring the learning experience to individual preferences. It's the adaptability that makes VR a dynamic tool for personalized learning. And third but not least, emotions involve creating an emotional connection with the content, fostering a deeper and more memorable understanding of complex medical situations. The emotional dimension in VR-based learning is very important. It's not just about hearing or seeing, it's about feeling. Guided by the principle of active learning, VR cultivates an emotional connection with the content. This connection is the catalyst for profound understanding and lasting retention, particularly in the intricate landscape of medical situations. So, as we venture into the potential of VR in healthcare training, recognize that these elements, immersions, affordance, and emotion, are not merely components of a framework, but the very essence of a transformative learning environment. It is the synthesis of these factors that renders VR invaluable in reshaping how we perceive, how we learn, and how we retain complex medical knowledge. And so, basculating, now let's talk about patient care. So these VR characteristics, immersion, affordance, emotions, are not only individual to educational settings. For example, affordance in VR allows therapists to customize interventions to suit individual needs, offering personalized therapeutic experience that can cater to diverse patient requirements. What defines a good therapeutic tool? Well, let's see the following list that highlights some key principles of therapeutic tools. Starting with evidence-based validity, of course, virtual reality in therapy has a growing body of research validating its effectiveness across various therapeutic domains, showcasing positive outcomes in mental health, pain management, rehabilitation, and more. We will discuss two papers today, but I encourage you to read about the use cases of VR in your own domains. Okay, so first, as seen in this study, when comparing immersive virtual reality to non-immersive and other types of therapy, immersive virtual reality systems were more effective at improving upper extremity function, followed by non-immersive virtual reality systems, then non-immersive gaming consoles, and lastly, conventional rehabilitation. In this other example, in a study conducted with 747 participants, when comparing virtual reality to traditional methods, a statistically significant improvement was found in the VR group regarding anxiety levels, although no significant difference was found for functional capacity. As I'm sure the majority of us know, anxiety is a very important factor to achieve a good rehabilitation. So, VR technology has evolved to be more user-friendly with advancements in hardware and software design, making it more accessible to therapists and clients. Efforts have been made to create intuitive interfaces and simpler setups. A reflection of this is regarding head-mounted displays, which is the headsets that you put on to do immersive virtual reality. VR headset prices are moving in a downward tendency related to a market growth. VR has also been related to good outcomes among older adults, and I think this correlates to the advances in headsets that provide more comfort and more engaging environments. VR offers customizable experiences, allowing therapists to tailor intervention, scenarios, and simulation based on individual client needs, ensuring adaptability and flexibility in addressing diverse therapeutic requirements. Our platform in Uptale is a web-based platform that requires no code, where you can do the virtual experiences yourself and that you can deploy in any device. Well, virtual reality is inherently engaging due to its immersive nature. It fosters high levels of user engagement and interactivity, enhancing therapeutic experience through realistic and interactive scenarios. And an example of this is this data that was taken from my master's study, where we assessed the engagement and immersion of a virtual reality experience created in Uptale using the Spatial Presence for Immersive Environments questionnaire that was created in Nanterre University here in Paris. And 83% of students could easily examine the contents of the environment, which speaks to the affordance. 93 found it that had fun during the experience, which speaks to the active learning methodology, and 85% felt like it was physically present in the environment, which speaks to immersion and the sense of spatial presence. VR Tools provides functionalities to measure and track progress, enabling therapists to collect data and evaluate the effectiveness of interventions, contributing to evidence-based practices. And actually, in Uptale, data refers to a wide variety of activities, and we have traditional learning data, user sessions, duration, frequency, completion, etc. But we also have data which is specific to virtual reality and specific to Uptale. And when you can see the number of scenes discovered, the path taken by your learners, the time spent, the attention zones that can be displayed on a heat map. We have also voice analysis, audio transcription, and much more. Finally, VR technology is continually evolving, with ongoing research and user feedback driving improvements in usability, functionality, and relevance to contemporary therapeutic practices. An example is the introduction in Uptale of different learning spaces, whether individually or collaborative, mixing immersion with augmented reality. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Valeria Martinez. I am a professor of anesthesia and pain specialist, and currently the president of the French Pain Society. So today is 8 in the morning in France, and it's really cold. Snowflakes are falling, and we are in the middle of winter. So I know we are far from the weather in Singapore. So today I was asked to discuss a use case of virtual reality. I am delighted to share with you my experience in teaching medical students with virtual reality. So before we dive in, let me quickly outline the context of medical education in France. The education system underwent a major reform, resulting in two notable consequences. Firstly, there has been a significant increase in the number of medical students to be trained. For instance, in our faculty, we've gone from having 150 students by class to now dealing with 300, so twofold more. Additionally, the integration of the clinical practice exam in the selection process of students has been implemented in France, and is new for us. So right now, we are dealing with the double challenge of having more students and getting them ready for clinical exams, and all with the same number of teachers. So now I invite you to see a short video to illustrate this use case. Camille.
Bonjour, je suis le professeur Valéria Martinez, je suis médecin anesthésiste et spécialiste de la douleur. Je travaille à l'hôpital Raymond Poincaré à Garches et j'enseigne à la faculté de médecine, l'UFR Simone Veil. Je suis très attirée par cette façon d'enseigner puisqu'on peut enseigner avec une grande quantité d'étudiants des choses qui ne pouvaient pas se faire ou qui se font individuellement à l'hôpital. Donc on va passer d'un enseignement de quelques étudiants à 150 à 300 étudiants.
On vient de faire une simulation en réalité virtuelle où on devait prendre en charge différents patients aux urgences en choisissant les bons dosages et les bonnes conduites à tenir en cas d'effet indésirable.
C'était une mise en situation, on avait des patients, on devait trouver les informations et ensuite on avait des petits questionnaires.
Ce que j'ai particulièrement apprécié dans l'expérience Uptale, c'est la possibilité de réaliser notre propre expérience. Ça veut dire on est totalement autonome en tant qu'enseignant pour créer l'expérience qu'on souhaite, filmer ce qu'on veut. Et ça, c'est quelque chose qui est très intéressant pour les enseignants.
Alors je recommande beaucoup parce que de 1, ça permet de faire des gestes qu'on n'a pas l'occasion de faire en stage directement pour nous. Et de 2, je trouve que ça permet de varier l'enseignement que juste apprendre dans les livres et on retient mieux comme ça.
J'ai trouvé ça super innovant. On était vraiment proactifs et c'était super agréable parce qu'on retient 1000 fois mieux quand on est actif et qu'on réfléchit. C'était vraiment chouette.
J'ai vraiment bien aimé cette expérience parce que ça permet de se rendre compte en vrai de ce que c'est et de pouvoir apprendre réellement ce que c'est le geste. On ne va pas savoir qu'il faut prendre telle seringue et administrer avec tel produit.
J'ai trouvé ça très très bien. Moi qui n'aime pas les réalités virtuelles, ça va. Mais vraiment de voir la fréquence respi, de voir en vrai de qu'est-ce qu'on fait, ça c'est hyper important.
L'idée, c'est de déployer ce type d'enseignement par immersion, par réalité virtuelle, à l'ensemble des étudiants de santé, donc pas seulement ceux de médecine, mais également les infirmiers, la maïeutique, les kinésithérapeutes. Tous les étudiants en santé de notre faculté pourront bénéficier en fait de ces modules d'immersion. Et l'idée, c'est de monter également le nombre d'expériences qu'on va réaliser sur les 3 ans à venir. Donc augmenter les expériences, augmenter le nombre d'étudiants qui vont pouvoir réaliser ces expériences, mais également aussi, c'est très important, augmenter le nombre d'enseignants qui vont savoir faire ces expériences. Puisque je vous rappelle, un des grands avantages de cette plateforme Uptale, c'est de pouvoir être totalement autonome dans la réalisation des expériences.
Thank you. So, I want to highlight that we've noticed a gap between what our medical students learn in theory and their practical skills in recent years. So this difference has led us to look for solutions. And for example, in the field of pain management and the administration of morphine, we noted the following. A significant majority of students, 80%, can describe the morphine titration process. However, only a quarter of them know how to proceed. And finally, only 5% have actually performed it because this learning situation was insufficiently encountered during their internship. So this is very worrying because it could affect how well future doctors take care of patients. So next slide. Uptale has allowed us to create an immersive environment enabling students to virtually confront rare situations such as pain assessment and titration of morphine. The objective of this project are threefold. Firstly, to train students by providing them with the opportunity to confront the situation, to repeat this scenario several times during their course, thus acquiring the necessary skills by the end of their studies, so that they feel comfortable when they have to do it for the first time as a young doctors. Secondly, to raise awareness and train teachers in these new technologies. And finally, the deployment requires its evaluation and simultaneous development of pedagogical research. So next slide, please. So let's break down to the step to create a scenario in practice. In our first experience, we've got assistance from Uptale, and here are 4 steps. the first steps to create a scenario, I recommend you to work together with a diverse group for scenario creation, because considering different professional perspectives makes the scenario richer. Second point, keep the education goals focused and limited for each scenario, and make scenarios that start easy and gradually get more challenging. Second step, filming, choose realistic location and actors. And after, keep a good balance between talking and writing, and add a gaming element with star gain for success and consequences like patient's deaths or complications for mistakes. For the logistic and experience implementation, I recommend you to ensure suitable space, shares, sound, and Wi-Fi for optimal execution, and conduct a testing period to redefine the experience. Take time to do that. Next slide. So, following this first experience, we secure a funding of nearly 2.5 million euros, and we plan to first expand immersive experience to other healthcare specialties like nursing, midwifery, and physiotherapy. Include virtual reality training in the students' curriculum. It's very important to that. Train many teachers to use this technology and create scenarios, and conduct educational research and devise strategies for its implementation at the level faculty to effectively reach a large number of students. So thank you for listening. I hope this presentation has inspired some of you to create similar experience. Thank you. And now I give the floor to Nicolas.
Yes, before a little poem, thank you, Valeria. And for everyone who's here, of course, we will have the replay and document, and you can receive everything later. So, have you ever used VR for training? Now it's your turn to share this with us, your experience, and I'm publishing the report. So maybe only for a proof of concept, for a trial, actually, sometimes we just try. Maybe never, or not for training. Or maybe you are already using VR, or you'd like to use it in the future. So it could be interesting to see the trend. So mostly the trend is about using it in the future and then never used. Yes. So most of the people, and two proof of concept. Okay, interesting. So most of you would like to use it in the future. So let's see with Nicolas how to use Uptale, which is kind of a 360 immersive technology, which will enable you to do it by yourself.
Yes, thank you, Camille. First of all, I would like to thank Laura and Valeria for their insightful information on why using virtual reality, and also Valeria about sharing his precise use case. So today what I will be sharing with you is pretty much now how you can do what Valeria did. And what is Uptale and how does it work? So basically, just to give you a brief introduction, Uptale, we're a 7-year company. We're 50 employees now, divided in various parts of the world. So obviously we're headquartered in Paris, but we have an office in Singapore, a new office in New York, and we also have partners all around the world. So now what I want to share with you today is how you can create immersive experience such as Valeria did. So Uptale, how does it work? Uptale is a very simple tool to use. What we do is we take captures, so 360 picture and 360 video of a work life environment, on top of which we add some interactive and informative element to create a learning journey. This enables you to transfer the field expertise without having to recreate all the time this situation, enabling you to make mistakes and to have feedbacks all along your training. This slide pretty much summarizes everything you need to know about Uptale. So on the left side of this slide, you see the two main pillars of our technology. The first pillar is that Uptale is a fully no-code and do-it-yourself platform, meaning that anybody with no technical background has the ability to create, modify, and deploy VR content with absolutely no technical background. The second one is that Uptale can be used on absolutely any device, meaning that every training that you create can be deployed obviously on any VR headset, but also on smartphone, desktop, and tablets. On the right side, we go back to the training, to the methodology to create a training. It's very easy. First, you need simply to take some 360 picture and 360 video. Then, such as a PowerPoint, you can drag and drop informative and interactive elements to enable the learner to practicate as they were in a real life situation using their movements, hands, eyes, and voices. So now I will be sharing with you a really short video about showing you how the platform is working. Perfect. So yes, so thanks to this video, what you can see is that Uptale has the ability to be a really interesting end-to-end platform, meaning that not only you can create the content, anybody in your organization will have the ability to modify it very easily, and then the platform is tailor-made for you to deploy the content at scale, finally enabling you to really analyze the data and really analyze the impact of your trainings. So to conclude, this slide will present you the different type of customer that we have. Obviously, not only we are working in the healthcare industry, but we're also deploying virtual reality in various different fields, such as automotive, aeronautic, retail, luxury, and a lot of other different industries.